Well, the Seahawks, from that preseason showing we had from Sam Darnold, gave us a lot more faith on the offensive side of the ball. But what is the ceiling for the Seahawks team alone?
It's football time.
Alrighty, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the All Around Sports Podcast of Sports, everything on the channel. I'm your host, Antonio. Today, we are talking about the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks, of course, won 10 games last year, going 10-7, but they made a few moves this offseason, including Geno Smith going to the Raiders in a trade that they had, also trading away DK Metcalf to the Steelers, but also letting go of Tyler Lockett. They went out there and got Sam Darnold and also Cooper Kupp as two notable signings that they made in the offseason, including Marcus Valdez-Scantling and DeMarcus Lawrence. But the defense already was top 15 in almost every category last year. The only category they didn't rank top 15 in was run defense. But after the clips we saw from the Seahawks offense in preseason game 2 against the Chiefs, in the first drive of the game, Sam Darnold, of course, played, was 4-4 in completions, and also led a touchdown drive, which was ran in by Zach Charbonnet. But the question is, what is the Seahawks ceiling for this upcoming season? I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Before we do, if you guys do enjoy this video, do me a favor, smash the like button down below, subscribe if you haven't already. And also, today's video is presented by Q Streaming. Q Streaming is a streaming source that is really solid. They also got free movies and also on-demand TV shows. It's only for $60 a month. You can get local stations. Like if you're all the way in Washington, you can get stations all the way from the other side of the world in New York. But for now, hope you guys enjoy. For now, let's get this thing started. The Seahawks. I'll say this much. I love what I saw from that team on the first drive. Darnold was a solid guy. And Zach Charbonnet was an amazing piece. I believe he made a legit argument to become the new starter. But after what I saw from this offensive core in that first drive of the Kansas City game in preseason game 2, I think they have a chance to make a deep playoff run. Because let's look at their division right now. The only competitor that they have right now is the Rams. 49ers are always a question mark because of their injuries. Cardinals may be up there, but the Seahawks have beaten them their fair share of times. 9 straight to be exact. But if we look at their schedule, I'm looking at a few of the games that they could have that could be clinching, that could be statement games. I'm looking at that week 5 game against Tampa. That could be one of them. I'm looking at week 7 Monday Night Football against the Texans. That'll be for sure one of them. The Commanders, I believe that's going to be a one to keep an eye on. And then also along with the Vikings, the Falcons, and also maybe even one against San Francisco or against Los Angeles. But I'll say this. I'll say this much. I believe the Seahawks can win the division. Because I had them predicted to win the division in my division predictions I just did recently. I'm going to take it a step farther. I not only think the Seahawks can win the division, but if we see the Seahawks with the defense that they had last year, that could be a really solid unit and stop opponents. And if that offense under Sam Darnold can look like the Minnesota form that we saw throughout the regular season, I'll say this. If they look like that, I think they can make a deep playoff run to at least the divisional round. Maybe even the NFC Championship game. I'm not going to say that because I want to say I'm biased. But when I look at the Seahawks, their offensive line is very much improved. They only have allowed 1 sack in the entire preseason. That is a good sign for their offensive line. I'm loving what I'm seeing from the offensive line. The defense just got better. The addition of Nick Mwamware in the offseason. You not only bring him in, you bring in DeMarcus Lawrence, a leader on the defense. And then only that, you brought back majority of your starters. You brought back Ernest Jones. You brought back Jared Reed. You brought back so many key guys on that roster. I believe Seattle's got a legit shot to win not just their division, but maybe at least a deep playoff run. But I'm not going to say that yet. Darnold, what I saw from him on that preseason drive of week of game number 2 on that first drive gave me a lot more hope than I did before. Because everyone knows this if they've watched me. I would have preferred to go Justin Fields or at least Malik Willis. I would have preferred those two. But after what I saw from this game from Sam Darnold, I've changed my mind a little bit on it. Because Sam Darnold looked really solid last week. That defense is only going to get stronger under Mike Macdonald in year 2. We saw Mike Macdonald in Baltimore turn a Ravens defense that was not so good the year before in year 1 to the number 1 defense in the NFL that following season. Now, am I saying the Seahawks are going to have the number 1 defense next year? No. Am I saying that their defense is going to be better than Rams? No. But I know this. Seattle has a culture established in Seattle. A new culture established under Mike Macdonald. And a culture that's been established since the beginning of the Seahawks is an underdog mentality. They've already been doubted this season. Some people have called them a bye week team, which I still think is ridiculous because they were tied 10-7 last year. Not only that, I've heard people say that they're going to go 7-10, 5-12, 4-13. I've heard a lot of different things. But that only fuels Seattle. That only fuels them. Every time the people of the media doubt on Seattle, they've gone over 500. Let's look at the last 3 years. 9-8, 9-8, 10-7. They've only came in last place of the division since 2015 once. Last place only once. And that was because of Russell Wilson's injury that he sustained in the last season he had. I look at Seattle. I believe there's a chance that they can win a Super Bowl in the next 2 to 3 years because they are building a culture in Seattle. Now, do I think Sam Darnold is going to be the quarterback that leads us to the Super Bowl? No. Do I think Milroe or Drew Lock can eventually take over at some point? Yes. But I've been seeing from Jalen Milroe in this preseason gives me a lot of hope for him in the future. I think personally, you give Jalen Milroe a season to rest. You give him a season to learn the playbook. See what Sam Darnold does this season. And depending on this season, set up a QB competition for next season between Milroe and Darnold. Because Milroe is an outstanding freak of nature. He is so good in the run game. I believe he just needs to work on that passing game, if I'm being honest with you. But I'll say this. If Milroe improves even more, and he looks really solid in the final preseason game against the Packers, I'll say this. I think he has a chance to become a future starter. Because Jalen Milroe, I don't think he'll start this season for sure. But I believe that in the future he will. Sam Darnold is that guy for right now. I'm a little bit more confident in him after what I saw from that first drive. If Seattle goes out there and performs like I know they can and run the ball effectively, like they did on that drive, I think Seattle can make a deep playoff run. Because they have solid running backs. You got Charbonnet, you got K9, you got Martinez, and George Holliday, who's been showing out in preseason. Then you also got offensive weapons like JSN, Cooper Kupp, Torrey Horton, MVS, Ricky White. You also got AJ Bonner, Elijah Arroyo, and Robbie Oots, who I have been surprised about him. He is going to be I believe he's got a chance to make the starting lineup. Because Oots is an amazing run blocker. He is outstanding in that category. And if Seattle looks the way that they did with Sam Darnold in that first drive, and that transitions to the regular season, I, without a doubt, think Seattle can make a deep playoff run. But of course, they'll have to make the playoffs first. If they make the playoffs next year, I think Seattle's got a chance to knock someone off. Whether it's a Detroit, whether it's a Philadelphia Eagles, whether it's the Detroit Lions, Tampa Bay, Rams, it could be anybody. If they make the playoffs this season, you want to watch out for this team because Seattle is a growing team. And if you doubt on them, they are only going to make you pay for it in the end, as they have done for the last 3 seasons. And we'll see what Seattle becomes. And maybe, just maybe, in about 2 to 3 years, maybe they'll be back on top of the NFL sooner or later. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. What do you guys think is the Seahawks ceiling this season? Let me know in the comments what you guys think down below. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, do me a big favor and smash like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, I'll see you all in the next one. Ciao for now.